Hey folks, Will Barfield here from Barfield Revenue Consulting, and I have the pleasure of chatting with you today about multi-generational workforce and looking at the recruiting and onboarding process for companies and organizations through the diversity and inclusion lens and how we embrace and engage the multi-generational workforce situation, ideally so that we have a really diverse workforce in our companies and organizations, but that so we also reflect the diverse multi-generational workforce that's out there in our area business communities. As we know, there are really 5 current generations in the workforce. We have the traditionalists, we have the baby boomers, we have the Gen X folks like me, we've got millennials, and then we've got the newest generation of the workforce, the Gen Z or Gen 2020 folks. And it's really important that we look at this multi-generational workforce that's out there and available, again, applying that diversity and inclusion lens when it comes to recruiting, onboarding, and diversification of talent. And then we maximize the opportunity we have with those folks. And when I think about multi-generational workforce, I think about my particular career history, and I think about 3 main factors as it relates to incorporation of the thoughts around the multi-generational workforce. I think about diversity of work styles. I think about diversity of thought, and I think about diversity of experience. And my 3 examples would be, I entered the workforce in the late 90s. I was a Gen Xer, and I credit the traditionalist and baby boomer leaders and supervisors that I had early in my career with imbuing in me that work ethic that has done so well for me in my career. The attitude amongst the traditionalists and baby boomers was really about, working hard and digging in, and it's kind of expected. And they really pushed me early in my career. When I think about diversity of thought, I think about a board that I was leading for a local nonprofit, which was made up of primarily Gen X folks. And it was very homogenized in terms of our thought processes and what we did for our members. And we really needed to get outside of ourselves. And so we recruited intentionally some folks from Gen Z and from the millennial group. And when they brought their perspective to those meetings, we actually came out with better and more diversified thought, and we presented better content for our members with the website programming and our events. And it was because of the diversification of thought. Finally, with diversification of life experience, there are simply things that traditionalists or boomers, Gen X folks, millennials, and Gen Zers have experienced that are very different from the other generations. And when they're in a combined workforce together inside an organization, they all benefit from one another. And those shared experiences make it a richer, more inclusive, diversified environment. Thank you so much for your time today. Look forward to seeing you again soon.